That's it. No more interruptions. That's it. I said no coffee.
That's one for me, Hal. One for me.
Oh, which is it?
Huh?
There you go. Thanks. That's it. Fini. Now, it is, the company consists of 14 people, and that's it. There's no chorus, no singing chorus, no dancing chorus, just 14 people, among whom we have Dean Jones, Elaine Stritch, Barbara Barry, a fellow named George Cole, about 5 girls, all in their between early 20s and 30, and a few fellows, and that is the company. Essentially, the style of the show is as follows. There is a set, could be called a single set. There are a lot of changes you ring on it, but it's a structure, and it's New York. The show is about marriage, and the show is about New York City, or better still, perhaps, about any big modern city, which is tough to be married in, and tough not to be married in, and tough to live in it, and all the rest of it. The essence of the show is that you are with a fellow on his 38th birthday who is still a bachelor. A bunch of his friends are giving a surprise birthday party for him, and he arrives, they present a big birthday cake, and it's rather Pinteresque, the opening. It's strange and weird, and the structure that Forrest has designed is all steel. And to give you a notion of what it looks like with just a front projection on it, it's important that you see just how modern, different, crazy, or whatever it is. But that's the structure. On the other hand, if possible, very important for the whole play, to have all of the couples splinter and go to their own homes and have their own private lives, and to lose the structure and just retain a series of different homes. Now, he comes to his birthday party. He tries to blow out the candles, make a wish and blow out the candles. He doesn't blow them out, all of them. Some of the wives help. You immediately get the whole position of the single man and the married wives who use him. He's a catalyst. He's the one that takes care of the wife when the husband has something else to do. He's the one who talks to the wife on the telephone, because husbands don't like to talk to wives on telephone, and so on. So it's very much an examination of marriage, and it's very much an examination of one fellow who can't get married. Somehow or other just hasn't made it. And it's also an examination of single girls who are qualified but unacceptable to him. Let's see. What else do I want to say? Yes, one more major thing. Everybody is on stage all night. That is a fact. It's not just blithely said. They all have their homes on stage, their rooms. Their rooms are not the same room all night. It can be anywhere. They're like you saw them there in a series of rooms, but they move around, and they're in other rooms of their apartments and houses. But they're always there, and they're always living their lives, because the show is also about how married couples have a fix on a third person, but in fact, they're independent of him, and that's the thing the poor bastard doesn't know. So that they have their lives, and they do their everyday, ordinary bits of relating and being together, separate from him. And those things they will do all night. The mundane, ordinary, everyday things of just living together. And whenever that happens, he's alone. Now, there are about 8 or 9 songs we're going to play for you. There are a couple of things that I'll read you. And as we go along, if I forget something, I'll do it. The very opening of the show, there is this apartment on
on the stage level. It hasn't got very much furniture in it. It's the bachelor's apartment. It's the hero's apartment. Everything is functional and on casters, so you can sweep under it with a modern and what happens is that he arrives, they all say happy birthday, they give him cake, he blows out only some of the candles, and they blow out the rest, and everyone gets a little bit embarrassed, and then it loses reality as they each pick up a major piece of his furniture and go away. I also didn't explain to you that the way they get up where they go when they go up is by elevator. There are two small elevators that go so easily, we trust, that you that you can say a line to somebody on the stage level, be in the elevator without anybody knowing it, and continue the line on the next level and just keep on talking, and the reverse is true. So they take the furniture away until there is no furniture left. Each couple takes a piece, puts it in his home, which again is clearly symbolic of bigger things. And he's left in an empty room. So here we go, opening number. All these friends are calling him by his many names, the names that they cherish for him. And then Steve will tell you when he sings.
The structure of the number is all the people are in their rooms with various pieces of his furniture all settling down, and they start addressing him from all over the stage. He's alone in the center. And what you get is a series of voices antiphonally, gradually building and blending. You have 10, 11 voices going at once, and then at a certain point they all come together and sing a little section all in unison, ending up with the statement that we love you, and he gets happier and happier as he hears all his friends all around him, and he smiles bigger and bigger and throws his arms open and sings the chorus solo. Then there's a little interlude where the voices come back, and he joins the voices, and then everybody sings the second chorus.
It is a rock song, but not a tribal rock song, right?
Yeah, I should say that it's not so much. It's not a rock score. There are during the course of the evening a couple of bossa novas, a couple of rock treatments. It's essentially a traditional score, but it has a rock-oriented orchestration in terms of heavy beats and a certain amount of anger and ferocity. You'll find it coming in. What happens in this number is it starts out with the sound of a busy signal in the orchestra. That's the basic accompaniment figure to begin with, and that gradually builds into a rock figure. Very simple, straightforward rock figure. Anyway, here's the company coming from all over the stage. I haven't started now, so if I get too loud, I'll start it. All the voices coming from all over the stage as the busy signal starts. Bobby, 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 baby, Bobby, Bobby, Robbie, Robert, darling, Bobby, we've been trying to call you. Angel, I've got something to tell you. Bobby, we've been trying to reach you all day. Kids were asking Bobby, there was something I wanted to say. Your line was busy, Bobby, Bobby, how have you been? Stop by on your way home, Bobby, we've been thinking of you. Drop by anytime, Bobby, there's a concert on Tuesday. How about some travel on Sunday? Bob, we're having pizza Saturday night. What to do in Thursday? Time we got together is Wednesday, all right. And everybody together, doorbells and phones ringing. Bobby, come on over for dinner. We'll be so glad to see you. Bobby, come on over for dinner. Just be the three of us, only the three of us. We love you. And he sings, phone rings, door time, in comes company. crazy people, my married friend. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's really about, really about. I shouldn't say this, but Bobby, we've been worried. You sure you're all right? Stop by anytime. Bobby, come on over for dinner. We'll be so glad to see you. Bobby, come on over for dinner. Just be the three of us, only the three of us. Love, I love thee, love, I love you. Everybody sing. All ring 4 times in some company. No strings, good times, just chums company. Late night, quick fight, party games, deep talk, long walk, telephone calls. Upstairs, school fairs, private names, all those photos up on the wall. With love, 70 ways. So Bobby with love from all these good and crazy people, my friends. These good and crazy people, my married friends. And that's what it's really about. You I love it, you I love it, you and you I love it, you I love it, you and I love you. I've got company, company, company,
That's a whole choral thing that I can't quite get across, but it's all the voices, Hilden.
In the style of the show, there are a number of couples to meet. The first of whom are a very chic lady who works for a fashion magazine, and her good-natured, not quite so bright husband. Our hero just had dinner with them, and they're having coffee after, and the conversation turns to what they very busy active life they have. Among the things that the wife does is take judo lessons, and the husband says, "Come on, show us what you do. What's all those classes you go to, and so forth." And she very reluctantly and rather embarrassed agrees to, and so they square off, and she immediately floors him, you see, and puts her foot in the nape of his neck and says, "Say, uncle." At that point, Stritch and 2 or 3 other members of the company just been up there in the dark, suddenly turn around, look down, and observe. Now, Steve will explain the numbers, goes on. This is very much the style of the show. We interrupt scenes, and we fragment things, and we move on to something else, and so on.
So there they are in this position on the floor, and Stritch suddenly turns around. And then some others. Now they're all together, and they just look laconically down at the group, and they sing. It's the little things you do together, that make perfect relationships. The hobbies you pursue together, savings you accrue together, looks you misconstrue together, that make marriage a joy. And they just disappear. The scene goes on, and the husband overthrows the wife, and they do a little more judo. He blocks her, she blocks him. Now she's got him down on the floor, or he's got her down on the floor, breaking her neck, and she's got a stranglehold on his thigh, and they can't move. And Bobby, who's there, is embarrassed, doesn't know what to do. And Stritch comes out now with 3 other people. They all sing. It's the little things you share together, bear together, care together that make perfect relationships. It's concerts you enjoy together, neighbors you annoy together, children you destroy together that hold marriage intact. It's not so hard to be married when two maneuver as one. It's not so hard to be married, and Jesus Christ is it fun. It's sharing little winks together, drinks together, kinks together that make marriage a joy. It's bargains that you shop together, cigarettes you stop together, clothing that you swap together that make perfect relationships. Now Bobby crosses to get a drink and gets caught up in the fight. That is to say, he gets sandwiched between them. So now there's three of them on the floor. He's got an empty glass in his hand. He can't move because he's in a scissors grip the husband has around her and him. The wife has the husband by some part of the neck or something, so he can't move. So they're absolutely immobilized. And now Fritz comes out with about 8 people.
And during the course of this, between portraits, the threesome on the floor switches, but they never untangle. They just keep staying in this terrible mess.
It's not the profound philosophic discussion that gets you through desperate nights. It's not talk of God and the moon and the Russians. It's who gets to turn out the lights. It's the little things. Little things. The little ways we josh together, wash together, nosh together, that make perfect relationships. Becoming a cliche together, growing old and gray together, withering away together, that make marriage a joy. It's not so hard to be married. It's much the simplest of crimes. It's not so hard to be married. I've done it numbers of times. Making little flips together, trips together, whips together, that make marriage a joy. It's things like using force together, shouting to your horse together, getting a divorce together, that make perfect relationships.
Now, the end of this particular scene, which is the most farcical of the episode, the contestants split and just sort of stand there gathering their breath because they're out of breath terribly, and our hero leaves and goes out rather bewildered into the street, having spent an evening with his married friend, which is more than he can take. And inside the house, the wife says that husband says, "I'll turn out the lights in the garden there." They have a garden apartment in New York. And the wife says, "I do. I always do." There's a little edge of competition already, and she goes out the door. At that point, Robert, who's quite another part of the stage, says, "Harry, what's the question exactly, Steve?
Are you ever sorry?
Are you ever sorry you got married?" And there is this reply. Then another husband appears, the level, and the same question is answered. And then a third, and it becomes a song for three husbands. And their wives are sort of in silhouette, immobile and various behind them on the stage. So this is to the question, are you ever sorry you got married?
Harry sings. You're always sorry. You're always grateful. You're always wondering what might have been. Then she walked in. Still you're sorry, and still you're grateful, and still you wonder, and still you doubt, and she goes out. Everything's different, nothing's changed, only
get worse. Wait, I think I have that in reverse. Oh, you're sorry, grateful, regretful, happy. Why look for answers where none occur? You'll always be what you always were, which has nothing to do with, all to do with her. Nothing to do with, all to do with her.
This is a very brief encounter with a couple who live on a penthouse. One of those, not so much a penthouse as a terrace, one of those little terraces that looks on another terrace. And Robert's there, sitting out in his afternoon, and Robert says, "It's so great to have a terrace." Wow! And the wife was starting to give my, we never use it. We keep things like old sleds and stuff out here. You don't ever just sit out here? Husband says, "I hate it. Kids are impossible." I said, "Jesus, have you been hearing everything you say? It's dirty all the time. What's all the birds do?" The wife says, "Noisy, all this trash. You can't even see yourself think. And what can you see? It's not like you see something. You see the buildings across the street." The husband says, "Well, if you lean way out and look over there, you can see the East River." He said, "Except we decided you really can't." Peter almost met his maker one night trying to see that old East River. He did. It's a miracle. It's alive today. He was saved, and my friend says, "Me, no, well, no way I suppose I did." She fainted, so I got down. There's blood and height. I always faint. Even at the word blood, ooh. And that night he was out there, and his knee was way out there, so I can't even talk about it. Peter just is not afraid of anything at all. I fortunately was not made that way, unfortunately. One day Peter fell off the ladder when he was putting up my curio cabinet. He split his head right open, and I hardly got to the telephone when I fainted dead away. And Peter had to phone when he came to, and when I came around, I saw Peter leaning over me, his head all bloody, and I fainted again. And Robert laughs. His friend says, "Well, that is just sweet. I mean, you're a woman. I think that is very charming, very, I do. In fact, she is without a doubt the most charming woman I've ever met. I mean that, Peter. Yes, I admit I am terrifically attracted to your wife. I swear, George, I would run off with you tonight if I had half a chance. You are a lucky guy, Peter. I mean, that kind of old southern graciousness. There just ain't no more of that around. You two are beautiful together, really. And Peter, if you ever decide to leave her, I want to be the first to know." And the wife takes a pause and she says, "Well," and the husband says, "You're the first to know." What? He says, we're getting divorced. He says, "We haven't told anyone yet." And the friend says, I'm so surprised. That's quite a shock. We two seem so, I mean, you two seem so happy and all. They look at him rather strange. I mean, maybe you'll work it out. He says, "You don't think so, huh?" "Well, I know it must be, how hard it must be for you both, and how sad you both feel." And the lights come down. The next couple are the squarest married couple in the show. They live on West End Avenue. They're terribly nice. They have probably the least amount of money, and they have kids, and they couldn't be nicer. And he comes to their house, and he brings them a stick of marijuana to smoke. We're in the middle of this as we see them, and they are potted, but they are potted like desperate squares at their first time, and they're just terrible. You know, they really are silly people, and they're dear, and you love them, and she's very much the wife, and you know, and the husband is very much the protecting husband. And they're just really quite foolish. During the course of this party that they're having, the husband says, "You really ought to get married sometime, Peter," and Robert, and he explains what marriage has meant to him in a way that
doobs it for anyone who's listening. See, and the wife says, "Like it's wonderful, honey. You say that one all over again." And then our hero says, "No," assures them that he's not that he is not married because he doesn't want to be married. He fully intends now finally to settle down and get married. And at that point, a girl, who is a girl named Donna McKechnie, who you may have seen in Promise, is a great dancer, comes out with a microphone and sets it up. And another girl comes out, and still a third girl, and they stand around the microphone. And this is very much the Andrews Sisters, because of course our hero is very much remembers the Andrews Sisters. And they do this song right dead in the middle of the scene, at the point when he's protesting the hardest that he fully intends to get married. These are the single girls that they do.
It may be an Andrews Sisters treatment, or it may be a Running Sisters, or it may even be the Sergio Mendes. No. The point about the style that I want to make is that it's absolutely tonelessly done. There's absolutely no emotion whatsoever in their voices to what they sing, and it's right in the middle of his speech as he's fumbling around trying to explain to himself as well as to the couple why he isn't married, how he intends to get married, and what's wrong with it and what's right with it, and just making all the ridiculous rationale. He keeps getting distracted because he sees these girls setting up a microphone, but of course it's in his head, so the others don't. As the song goes on, they do little kind of close harmony things, and you'll hear me play what sound like a lot of wrong notes in the second chorus, but I want them to harmonize as if they were perfect notes, all the wrong notes. So it's all kind of crazy. But they start with... You could drive a person crazy. You could drive a person mad. First you make a person hazy, so a person could be had. Then you leave a person dangling sadly outside your door, which of course it makes a person gladly want you even more. I could understand a person if it's not a person's bag. I could understand a person if a person was a fag. But worse than that, a person that titillates a person and then leaves her flat is crazy. He's a troubled person. He's a really crazy person himself. When a person's personality is personable, he shouldn't ought to sit like a lump. It's harder than a matador coercionable to try to get you off of your rump. So single and attentive and attractive a man is everything a person could wish. But turning off a person is the act of a man who likes to pull the hooks out of fish. Knock, knock, is anybody there? Knock, knock, it really isn't fair. Knock, knock, what can a person do? Knock, knock, you're only passing through. Knock, knock, the tiniest response. Knock, knock, is all a person wants. Knock, knock, I'm working all my charms. Knock, knock, the zombie's in my arms. Oh, that's sweet affection, what is wrong? Where's that loose connection? How long, oh Lord, how long? Bobby, baby, Bobby, 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 you can drive a person buggy. You can blow a person cool. I can make a person huggy. Why you make it feel when a person says it's you are better. That's when you're good. You impersonate a person better than a zombie should. I could understand a person if he wasn't good in bed. I could understand a person if he actually was dead. Exclusive you, elusive you. Will any person ever get the juice of you? You're crazy. You're a lovely person. You're a moving, maladjusted, never to be trusted, crazy person. You're sad. Bobby is my hobby, and I'm giving it up.
It's 2 points of view. There are two things worth mentioning now.
One is that in the course of the song, Steve will point out when it comes, there are a series of little encounters in which Robert says to the wife something, and she reacts, and then the husband says identical things to the wife, and she reacts accordingly to her husband. You get that point right away. In addition to that, very near the end of the end of the number, point of fact, they are knocking marriage. What do you want to get married for? And walking up to their respective rooms, arm in arm, very much related to each other. So it's the again two attitudes which run concurrently in relationships. Is there anything I've left out?
No, I'll try to keep it. There are. It begins with three little sections, one for each of three husbands. A girl dances. The whole thing is done abstractly, and it involves the entire cast, so I'll try to make it so it doesn't confuse you. As each husband is recommending a girl, some girl dances, as if that were the girl that he was recommending. The third husband is Peter, the one that Hal read about, and of course the girl he's recommending is his own wife.
He's getting rid of her.
And I think that's what you need to know to begin with. Anyway, the first husband who sings is kind of a bluff Paul Douglas type, and have I got a girl for you? Wait till you meet her. Have I got a girl for you, boy? Ooh, boy! Stat! Never seen so much stuff in your life. I tell you, pal, if there wasn't my wife, and after marriage you've no worry there. She even thinks that adultery square. Second husband, have I got a girl for you? Wait till you meet her. Have I got a girl for you, boy? Ooh, boy! Smart! I never saw so much stuff in one head. I hear she likes to use yoga in bed, and after marriage I'll give you a tip. She thinks the honeymoon's just a bad trip. Miss Peter, have I got a chick for you? Wait till you meet her. Have I got a chick for you, boy? Ooh, boy! Sweet, a cup of butter won't melt in her mouth. She's all molasses, she comes from the south, and after marriage, old pal, never fear. She's not about to give up that $10,000 a year. Girl turns to the wife. Now, a couple comes waltzing by. And this is where Robert says something to the wife, and then she answers, and the husband says something gently. Your hairdo looks great. Thank you, Bobby. Your hairdo looks great. Well, it should. It's a wig. You're losing some weight. Thank you, Bobby. You're losing some weight, and I look like a pig. Two husbands song. One song, two times. Restaurant. What do you like? You like something? Kiss. Somebody with a smile at the door. What do you like? You like indescribable? What do you want to get married?
So now we meet the girls, the single girls. In this particular section, he is talking to one girl, and in the middle of the scene, she simply disappears and is replaced by another girl. In the middle of the scene, she disappears and is replaced by a third girl, and the reactions are always exactly the same. Point being made again. But this is just one of the girls. You want to know why I came to New York? I came because New York is the center of the world, and that's where I want to be. You know what the pulse of this city is? He says the Natives, orange juice, fresh. He says the pulse of the city, kiddo, is me. This city is for the me's of this world. People that want to be right in the heart of it. I am the soul of New York. He says, how about that? You see, smart remarks do not occur to me. I pass people on the streets, and I know them. Every son of a bitch is my friend. I get uptown for the dentist or something, and I suddenly want to cry because I think, oh my God, I'm uptown. And 14th Street, well, nobody knows it, but that is the center of the universe. And he says, 14th Street, that's humanity. 14th Street, that's everything. And if you don't like it there, they got every subway you can name to take you right back where you like it better. And he says, God bless 14th Street. Oh, can it so much? There's this city. I kiss the ground with. Someday, you know what I want to do? I want to get all dressed up in black. A black dress, black shoes, hat, gloves, everything black. And go sit in some bar
the end of the counter and drink. Oh, that is my idea of honest Christ sophistication. I mean, that's New York. You always make me feel like I got the next line. What is that with you? He said, I just never met anybody like you. Me neither. You know what this city is? Where a person can feel it? It's in a person's ass. If you're really part of this city and in the whole flow of it, your ass is like this. He says, if you're just living here, but not really part of this city, your ass is like this. And he says, I hesitate to ask, and she goes. All right. That's that girl. There's a scene in that whatever our version of a discotheque is, and Elaine Stritch is the main figure in the scene. And it's a very wealthy woman who is very, very soused when he's here. And she's sitting at the table with Robert and up dancing with a go-go girl. Behind her in the elevator is this guy making a mess of himself, and she keeps making terrible cracks about him. At the end of the dance, he comes down one of those elevators and he comes to the table and says, husband, and she says, what?
We
already gave. And it's a complete put down. Yeah, she's just so terrible to him. And he's a big, good-looking goof who just is mad about her. And every terrible thing she says to him, he's such a despair. He just thinks he's the greatest thing that ever happened. At one point during the scene, which I think is extremely funny, they're all three of them at the table. And she's turned everyone in the club on to smoking, and she's just a terrific disruptive. And suddenly, they disappear, as it were, the lights go on, and she steps out, without physically stepping out, of the scene, and sings this, which is the essence of who she is, and why, in fact, despite all the terrible and outrageous things she's done all these years, you really like her. And this is her credo.
She's a lady who's always she's brought up rich, and she's always been rich. And
married 3 times. We've heard about it. Right. Are you from Chicago? You're not. I don't know where I had that idea. But in any case, there's a terrible, terrible section about Chicago. one of her husbands went to Chicago, and she wouldn't go with him, so that was the end of that marriage. It's a great long thing about Chicago. Okay.
so anyway, again, this is Elaine Stritch with that kind of laconic offhand delivery. And in the middle of the scene, she just cuts out, just looks forward to the audience, and has a drink in her hand. She can take a little anything. She says, I'd like to make a toast. Not even Robert conductor. Here's to the ladies who lunch. Everybody laughs. Sitting in their caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym, then to a fitting, claiming their and looking grim, 'cause they've been sitting, choosing a hat. Does anyone still wear a hat? I'll drink to that. Here's to the girls who stay smart, aren't they a gas? Rushing to their classes
'cause girls who play white aren't they too much? Keeping house with clutching the puppy of life just to keep in touch. Ones who follow the rules and meet themselves at the school. Kids need to know that they're fools. Aren't they a gem? I'll drink to them. Let's all drink to them. Here's to the girls who just watch. Aren't they the best? When they get depressed, it's a bottle of scotch and a little jet. Another chance to disapprove. Another brilliant singer. Another reason not to move. Another vodka stinger. I'll drink the bottle. So here's to the girls on the go. Everybody tries. Look into their eyes and you'll see what they know. Everybody dies. Spirit for that tire, the punch. The dinosaur surviving the crunch. Here's to the lady who lunch. Everybody
Part of the point of the show, I should add, is that everybody in it seems crazy except Robert, who's being sane. And of course, the whole point is that he's cut off, and we find out at the end, or towards the end, that of course he's in a lot more trouble than all the other people, because at least they're trying. But one of the points of the show is it's very difficult to maintain your sanity and maintain a marriage in a society like this, or a relationship. So this girl seems crazy. Have you've got, okay, I'll put them in mind. Okay, good.
Also explain the chord.
Yeah, I will. The way this number is set up is that we see a congregation of wedding guests assembling for a wedding, supposedly in the cloisters. It's in an upstage area. And we watch them coagulating, and there's organ, very soft organ music, and they sing very sweetly. And then suddenly this girl comes barreling out, and she sings to the audience.
The references to rain, by the way, have to do with the fact that it gets darker as it goes on darker until spring, and there are umbrellas, and suddenly they're opened, and so on, in the wedding area.
But it's as if it were a dream, because what she's trying to do is stop them, but she can't. And the more she protests, the more people congregate, the more they come together, and the louder and more joyfully they sing about the wedding. And if the song ends, there's a little monologue in the middle of how we'll do, and then comes back to the song. It ends with a scream of horror on her part, which I can't do very well, but which is just one of those rising screams like a siren. So, what it starts out very, very quiet, and the guests are assembling. Formal attire, the usher. This day, pinnacle of life, husband joined to wife, the heart leaps up to behold this golden crazy lady comes barreling on his stage and tries to stop him. He's not getting anywhere. First the other. The music is swelling. The guests are inside. The parents are belling. And look at the bride. Beautiful gown, even at retail. Lamp the veils, most notice the cloth. And another fabulous detail. The wedding is off. This day, pinnacle of night. Husband joined to wife, the heart sinks down and feels dead. This dreadful day.
see, you must have noticed I've been trying to make a point, and for some very odd reason, I don't seem to be able to make that point. And that point is, the wedding is off. To tell you the truth, as far as I was concerned, it was never on. Marriage to me, I say, stick it. Oh, forgive me, don't say that. I just feel nervous and all. So why don't you just sort of go away, and I thank you for coming, and even more for leaving. Just continue to play. You aren't leaving. Listen, friends, I'm not a well-lawyer. The opposite, if anything. 4 times a week to the psychiatrist. I'm the one out of every 3 people in New York sadly in need of psychiatric help. Inches from Bellevue. Inches.
This frost over the inside, slipping down the drain, and bless this day in our hearts as it flows.
Say a little bit about the structure of the story. It's hard to tell. In fact, there is a very clear structure of the whole story. What happens at the end of this is that she does not. She once more succeeds in not getting married. During the course of the rest of the play, Robert becomes more and more aware that he has to face a certain reality. So his decision, his way of facing reality is that we flash back to the opening scene, surprise birthday party. It starts out exactly as it did before. He goes to blow out the candles. He blows out just a few of them. Only this time there's a curious change. Little nightmare. There's a little bit of hostility on the part of all the guests. They start to go away again, and he starts to fill in where he's been bluffing his life, and he decides that it is a way out. The solution, the panacea to all his problems, is to get married. He then makes, and that's the song you'll hear now, a trip through all of his friends' lives, and it's been designed to show, ingeniously enough, so that he can go through all of those rooms unnoticed. Getting to the last one up here, where one of the wives is putting out a bowl of flowers. He's been arranging them, and he cuts one of the flowers, and he puts it in his button bowl, and he comes down quietly, and he comes on stage, and he meets this crazy girl again. It's the 6th time, only that this time he asks her to marry him. And what he does by an oversight, what this achieves is, one, it clarifies her position. She knows that she's finally going to get married. And she also is able, they are mutually able to point out to him that there's no reality in that. You just don't go around marrying someone you marry someone. And so this is the song that takes us through all of this.
This is his idea of what he's looking for.
We've left out about 4 songs, 2 of which are Steve is polishing, and 2 of which are
To be written.
still to be written. But that's pretty much what's your fortune.
Beautiful.
Thank you for
How many
coming.
songs do we hear?
You heard
You heard
9 or 8? 8 or 9?
8 really.
So it'll be about 13.
About
Can you
13.
play us the last
Yeah.
one that the three guys sing?
The last part.